What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp, managing editor at FightfulWrestling.com. It is the Fightful Wrestling podcast for May 14th, post Smackdown. We've got plenty of stuff to talk about. Some Lars Sullivan news. We've got Smackdown. We've got NBA talk, which we're saving for the end. And we're going to preview this weekend's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I am joined by one Alex Pawlowski. We were talking off the air, Alex. Real teams don't tank.
That's right. No need to. You can get rewarded for just being, generically lousy.
Remember that, WWE?
Yeah.
Well, we are going to talk WWE, but let's talk about this Lars Sullivan news. So for those who aren't caught up, Lars Sullivan had some message board posts from a bodybuilding.com account from a decade ago, approaching the time he signed with WWE, that were disgusting in nature. Quite frankly, looks like a lot of trolling going on there, a lot of race baiting, a lot of weird stuff involved in there that offends almost every type of group. Now, I can tell you from personal experience, those who I've spoken to within WWE, though it's been known for several months, there were a lot of people that he worked with that were shocked by this because they talk about how mild-mannered and how respectful he is, how well that he abides by the unwritten rules of wrestling. And they say, they were like, really? That's him? You sure? Type of thing. That was the response I always got. He came out, he issued a statement last week, but it continued to pick up momentum. WWE today announced that they were fining him $100,000 and sending him to sensitivity training. I have asked about where that fine is going. I have not been given an answer. But we reached out to Lars for comment, and he said that he would stick with his apology and let that kind of speak for itself. What do you think of this? Does the punishment fit the crime? I know a lot of people, there are a lot of aspects to this, Alex. There was some chatter online, people saying, oh, well, he said this stuff while he was under contract. He did not. There is no evidence that these were made while he was under contract. So you do have a completely other facet of this where an independent contractor is being punished for something they didn't do while under that independent contract. There's a lot of gray area there. Obviously, I think as far as the punishment goes, it's that or getting cut.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to fine him. I would figure out a way to curtail his push because I feel like you just have, listen, I'm actually, we can talk about it now. They had a really brief segment with him on the show tonight. And they had Kayla Braxton, a woman of color, interviewing him, but she's really nervous. And the reason she is because Tom Phillips says she knows what Lars Sullivan is capable of. Yeah, we all do. That's the whole point. That's a problem, that we know what he's capable of, maybe not of doing, but certainly of thinking and of writing down for other people to see. Do I think that this will have long-term repercussions for him? No, I do not. Because of the society we live in, and particularly the people who are in charge of WWE. If they decide they can make money from him, that's it. That's fine. If they can't, then he's no good to them anyway. But Mel Gibson, was recorded telling his pregnant girlfriend that he hopes to get raped by a pack of N-words. A pack of them. Mel Gibson told Winona Ryder that she was an oven dodger. Because,
he also referred to his girlfriend's fake breasts and said, they're big and stupid and fake, and I don't like them.
Yeah. He's playing Santa. Mel Gibson's playing Santa. So if Mel Gibson can have a comeback and they assume everyone's forgotten about it, well, then I'm not surprised that a few message board posts don't result in anything really punitive. The $100,000, we'll see where that goes. I mean, I'm not sure that should go to some kind of charity. It shouldn't go into Vince's pocket.
Yeah, I agree.
It's got to go somewhere where it's actually being utilized
to help pay off Hulk Hogan for his next appearance.
Yeah, true.
And I saw a lot of people compare it to Hulk Hogan, and I was like, well, little different there. As wild as the Lars stuff is, I could in some way believe that maybe he's learned from that. Based on the people that I've spoken to of all backgrounds and genders and positions within WWE that were like, that ain't the guy that we know. Right. Now, that being said, Hulk Hogan was caught on audio being concerned that he would be reincarnated into a black man. Like, that was a concern for him.
Yeah, no.
And he was fired as a result. With Lars, the result was you do this or you fire him. And I, for one, hope that he learned from it. The stuff that he said was weird and odd and gross, and I didn't like any of it. Man.
Yeah, you wonder what kind of sensitivity training it's going to be, and how much of it is just like, show up, listen to us talk at you for 4 hours each day over the course of a weekend, then sign this saying that you learned something, because that's what a lot of the sensitivity training is. And I would hope it would be something where he would actually, go to a boys and girls club and like understand the people that you're talking about, and maybe try and figure out a way of, recognizing what those words do to hurt people.
A lot of people in this day and age, they're quick to cancel other people. I would like to believe that everybody has some worth beyond that, to where if somebody screws up or even does something really stupid, maybe they can be rehabilitated, or maybe he already has. I don't know. I can't say that I know the guy personally on that level, but I hope that something good comes out of something really, really bad.
I have personally seen internet trolls be called out for it and had a conversation with, and by the end of it, they're like, "Yeah, sorry, I was just lashing out because I was mad about stuff."
I used to troll Justin LaBar pretty publicly. That's kind of how my journalism career got started.
Right. But
I told him in no uncertain terms I thought I could do his job better than him, and we had a conversation about it, and he was like, "Well, here's what you do." And I was like, "You know what? I should." He called me on my shit. I got better about it.
I wonder, and without speculating, a lot of the people that I know who are reformed internet trolls were going through some mental health stuff, and this was just something that they needed. That was just like this a way for them to lash out. It was something that they needed, and we know that he's gone through some stuff recently. I don't know how far back in the past that kind of stuff goes, or even if it's the same kind of thing. I'm not giving this guy a pass. Some of the stuff he said was just vile. So you know what? Like, I wanna hope that he's gotten better. I especially within this job, I try and separate the art from the artist. Lord knows there are people whose ring work and character work I respect, who I know have views as people that I do not agree with. So, it's just trying to figure out ways of being able to look at this for what it is and separate that from the people performing it.
Well, I think there's something we can all agree with. Shop.fightful.com kicks ass. Look at that. Look at that beautiful thing. I haven't ironed it yet. That's our beach logo. It's a beauty. You don't got to wear black all the time. But you know what, Alex? If you want to.
Ooh.
Oh, damn. But you know what? Maybe you're like, hot dog, I'm going to this AEW show. I need some black and yellow.
Nice.
Oh, we got that too. Maybe you're a Steelers fan. Maybe you're from Fleming County, Kentucky, like me. You're cheering on the Panthers, which I haven't given a shit about in 15 years since I left. But we got the blue and white too.
Ooh.
My God, we got to get some ugly ass green and brown for Alex going. Whoa, what do we got here? Check it out. Shop.fightful.com. Tim Traver submitted a super chat and says, getting my dad a Fightful coffee mug for Father's Day. What a gift idea.
Fantastic.
It is. Remember, guys, subscribe to FightfulSelect.com. It's how we support these shows and bring you them all the time. It is our premium service. Go check it out. FightfulSelect.com. There's probably something over there you're going to like. This month's retro review, Money in the Bank 2011. But if you want to submit a question on our super chat here on Fightful's post show, we answer any questions, comments like that. Dick Breath Express is really putting his sponsor money in. He says, I need a toothpaste colored shirt. Well, you probably do by the sounds of it, buddy. And we have them over there at shop.fightful.com. Somebody is asking for SRS bobbleheads. What is with the obsession between my employer and my face?
I don't know.
My head. Tomorrow, I'm going to unveil a plan that I had that I revealed to Alex to troll Jimmy the next time he does something like that. Jimmy's probably watching this. I think he might be in Vegas next week. We will be too. Let us know. If you're going to be in Vegas. We would love to see you. But let's talk SmackDown Live from London, the O2 Arena. Starts off with Roman Reigns bringing out The Miz, who does just an absolute failure version of Wonderwall, Alex. What was this? He tried, he crashed, he burned, and he knew it. I don't know if this babyface Miz thing is going to work for me.
No. You know what doesn't work for me? Doing the exact same opening segment back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
Roman, like Miz bringing out Roman on one night and then Roman bringing out Miz the next night. And I again, not to harp on this, but the wild card rule, it says if they're invited. Can anybody invite anybody? Because it's just like a open invitation thing, or is the first 4 people that invite their friends? It's just it's odd. Okay, fine. It still is weird to see Roman and The Miz as like buddies. It's just weird.
Yeah, and it's forced.
It is. It's very forced.
Very forced. Shane McMahon comes out and says that Miz is banned from the arena tonight. Elias trashes Roman Reigns. They pretend like they're going to go after the baby faces, but then Shane brings out Rowan and Daniel Bryan. This is bad 1989 booking, I think. And I mean, like, there was some good 1989 booking. But this is like all the bad guys hate all the good guys for no reason.
Yeah, this is I put on Twitter, it's like all the heels are automatically Shane's henchmen. I mean, I guess he's the boss's kid and he pays their salaries, but it just feels like he's Skeletor and they're all like Trapjaw. Like,
they're gonna start shilling Chinese on-demand movies soon.
Yeah, oh man.
Fortunately, the Usos come out. That's a saving grace of this. The Usos and Roman Reigns. They should have been put together last year to add some edge to Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that would have been good. I'm still looking forward to a bloodline type of thing with the 3 of these guys, but they got to get on the same show. Oh, but whoops, it doesn't matter because the wild card rules, they could just appear on each other's shows whenever they want as long as they're invited.
It's the second week, man, of this wild card thing, and I was like, all right, I'll give it some time. I hate it so much. Yeah. I hate this fucking wild card, pardon my language, so much.
Yep.
It really diminishes my enjoyment of the program, and it's a crutch for Vince McMahon. I'm sure that myself and Jimmy are really going to deep dive on this. There's an article going around that I'm going to talk about at length on probably the Wednesday show, where a caller called into PW Torch's, I think it's a Wade Keller show. And I read the recap of it. And I was like, that's what I've been hearing. 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 A lot of this stuff off the record, so I can't really talk about it. But I was able to get some people to go on the record anonymously about it. And it is, the thing is, most of the things that people assume are true.
Right.
It's one guy. One guy. Elliot says, I turned this off as soon as I saw Roman and The Miz. Have a good night, guys. Thank you for your donation at the very least. Hey. Oh, man. But at least the Usos came out and run everybody out. Daniel Bryan and Rowan are put in a 4-3 handicap match along with Elias and Shane. The Miz is out. Okay. Randy Orton cuts a little promo. And then this fatal 4-way match gets started during the commercial break. I hate that.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. You can't do that. Listen, okay, here's the other thing. You have this talkie thing where they come out and all the stars are there and they all be, hey, you're not allowed here. You're banned. And later on, we're going to fight you. We're going to have a little brawl here to set up the match we have later. When you could have just started with this fatal 4-way match, which is the only real thing of consequence on the show, and you do the whole match, all 15 minutes of it, with no commercials. Then, after the commercial, you can set up your stupid 4-on-3 thing in a 45-second backstage segment. Like, I mean, is it a wrestling show or is it a talkie show? It just does. This was a lazy episode of WWE television.
Yeah, Mustafa Ali and Randy Orton are paired up pretty heavily early going, as are Balor and Andrade. I loved Ali faking out Randy Orton for the RKO.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good way for the young guy to get one up on the veteran. Yep. This is the best Randy Orton I've seen in years. Show up, RKO people, and then occasionally have fast-paced matches, Randy Orton.
Yeah.
That's the best Randy Orton. And, maybe have him do a live event here and there. Why not, man? And the fact that he, as I've mentioned in the past, has spoken openly about being willing to listen to AEW, that's going to add another couple $100,000 to his next contract, probably.
Yep, it certainly will.
Smart man, that Randy Orton. So occasionally he's going to work these live events, but so far this year, Randy Orton has worked, I think, 28, 29 matches.
Mm-hmm.
If you can work 6 to 7 matches a month,
right,
and get paid 7 figures to do it, hey, more power to you, Randy, especially if you're going to have good matches like this and step out and do some creative stuff like what he did with Ali.
Right.
Andrade brings out a ladder because why not? It makes sense. Why wouldn't he? Well, because Ali body presses him. And Ali, it looks like Ali got the worst of it.
Yeah.
He bounced off of that ladder. And we see everybody going wild after the commercial. Balor gets sent into the ladder. Everybody gets a little offense in. I loved the spot where Ali missed the 450, did the roll, got RKO'd. I want to see Orton and Ali just go. I don't want to see a chin lock in that match, Alex. I want to see them falls count anywhere, no disqualification. I want to see what these two men cook up.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is that the RKO is too protected. Like I'm sure there's a million ways that Ali can think of to find his way into taking an RKO. But the first one is going to be the last one because I don't think he's kicking out of him. Yeah. So it'd be a weird way to like maybe you have like Randy be like, okay, I'm not pinning you. Get up. I'm going to do it to you again. And then Ali fights back, gets a little offense in, and then takes another one. Like maybe that's it, or a 2 out of 3 falls match. I don't know what you do, but you're right. It just it doesn't allow for a lot of possibilities beyond the fake out, almost RKO, and then eventually RKO, and then pinfall.
This was a very, very good match, up there with match of the week between Raw and SmackDown. Tope con Hilo from Balor. Andrade runs Balor into the stairs and wins with a hammerlock DDT. Another champion gets pinned on the show because titles don't mean anything.
No, they don't.
Andrade climbs the ladder, but then Ricochet shows up and springboards out.
Now, is he invited? Who invited Ricochet? Or can he just show up? Does he not count because he wasn't invited? I don't know.
That's a wild card. That's the use of one of them. There you go.
I guess so.
Sure. I mean, he lost last night, so you got to get him on there.
That's
Robert
true.
Larry sends a super chat. Thank you very much. Hey, SRS, do you think the female viewership is declining due to the WWE not promoting the entire women's division correctly or the overall product itself? I think they honestly promote the women's division pretty well. I think consistently it's some of the best stuff on the show each week. It's inconsistent, and I think that the viewership is declining because the show is not consistently good and does not make sense. Now, let me make this clear. There is one person in particular that doesn't care if it makes sense, and that's Vince McMahon.
Right.
Triple H, specifically, I'm told, wants this show to make sense. A lot of the writers do too, because they know that their work is reflected into this. From what I understand, Vince McMahon does not think that we, the audience, cares if a lot of this makes sense. And he is living in an era, I don't know the last time where, I don't want to say that. How long was Avengers Endgame, Alex?
3 hours and 1 minute.
It's like 3 hours long. And TV shows are the wave these days. People want to sit down and binge watch. They want to be hooked into a story.
Mm-hmm.
Long-term storytelling is the way to go. And some people say, for kids. You know what? I got behind stories as a kid. I got behind the mega powers exploding.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the story.
Yep.
We see a bunch of selfie promos. Ember Moon, Bailey, Carmella. They're very generic.
Very. No, they're incredibly generic. They don't mean anything. They come out and say, here, my name is blank. I believe that I shall win this Sunday. That's it. The cookie cutter crap. Filler. Yes, good. You know what? I suspected that you predicted that you would win, but thank you for telling me that my prediction was right. That's it. Fine. Good. Some of them are better than others, but ultimately it's just filler.
Alistair Black was moody again, Alex.
I want him to stop talking and start kicking.
He is the new Bray Wyatt in that regard. He says stuff while saying absolutely nothing.
No, it was like part of it was like veered on, like was close to like quoting Shakespeare. Like the philosophical stuff is fine, but it's just they're telling him to slow down more because hey, we have 2.5 minutes to fill. We wrote you 35 seconds of text. Like, please slow down. And so he does, and then it makes him sound stupid. I don't understand. Like, this is not. Again, Warren Hayes tweeted this out. Just a reminder. Alistair Black got over in NXT by largely being mute for like the first year.
In fact, the first thing that got reactions was him talking.
Yeah.
Like, when he started to make short jokes to Zelina, and we're all like,
No, don't do that. Just come out and spin back heel kick somebody. Yeah. This is the other thing is that him wearing his weird like button all the way up to the neck, short sleeve satin goth shirt. Like, where's his amazing dragon vest? Where's this guy that we all fell in love with? And here's the other thing. The guy that you brought up that was teaming with Ricochet is not this guy. I understand that you split him up, but he was kind of getting over as that thing. Then you brought him on SmackDown and said, whatever you do, please don't appear in the ring, considering you're one of the best in-ring performers that we have under contract. That would be terrible if you were to actually, wrestle. Nobody can convince me that's a good choice.
Yeah. So at the top of the show, they said, all new Firefly Funhouse. And then at 9:20, what we got was the same exact thing as last night.
Right. It was an all new for SmackDown. Listen, I'm even more confident in the possibility of this being really, really great for Bray Wyatt than I was last night, particularly because he's on Twitter tonight as the Mr. Rogers character, like tweeting out like, gee, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, sorry for all those terrible things they did to you for the past several years. If you guys ever need a third for another 6-man tag and you need a guy to like step in and be part of the Shield, I'll do it. I'd love to. I bet he tweets out, P.S. Gosh, I miss you, John Moxley. Like, the fact that it's that guy on Twitter that we know, now that we've seen this little promo, that lurking inside him is the dude in the mask. Like, that's so compelling. It's beyond anything else they have in WWE right now. I just can't wait to see where this goes from here. Bubba Ray's on Busted Open Radio saying, I hope this guy doesn't wrestle for a long time and just terrorizes people like Freddy Krueger. And Bray responded to that saying, you get me. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here,
Breaking news, WWE is returning to Australia this year. I don't know if this means they're going to run a major event, but Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, you would think so.
Yeah, you'd think.
WWE heading back to Australia. Hey, that's good news. Maybe we can put Anna to work out there. Mm-hmm. Lars intimidates Kayla Braxton, who just walks away. What do you think of this?
It's one of those things where like they're so blind to the response that they don't realize that they're being weird, or are they steering into the skid? Yeah. Like, is it one of the two things? It just didn't feel right. You know what I mean? It just felt weird. And again, if he's not going to be beating up R-Truth, I don't understand why he's even on the show. Like, his storyline isn't moving farther. I mean, they showed a video package, one of 11 billion video packages tonight of him beating up people. We recognize that that's his character. We don't need to see it. Move on.
Why was Charlotte Flair on the show, Alex?
I don't know.
She came out there and threw to a video.
Right. Well, she's out there to say, "Hey, everybody! In case you are the people who do not watch the show, here is the history of me and Becky Lynch." I mean, I guess I'm biased because I do watch the show, but I feel like we know this by now. And even if we didn't, we could have watched this before the match on Sunday. But I guess this is to sell the match on Sunday. I don't know. Okay, fine. I mean, it's a go-home show. You're going to put a whole bunch of video packages together to sell the pay-per-view. That's fine. It just felt weird that she was like, you had to actually manually do it. Like, you couldn't just, have Tom Phillips throw to it. You actually had to have Charlotte come out and do it. I don't know. Whatever. Yeah.
We get this very long video. It's real awkward. It's something that we complained about. I mean, probably maybe even before Fightful, I was like, it's awkward. Stop having them throw to videos. And for like a year and a half, they stopped. And now they've brought it back with a vengeance. They have these people come out of the ring and say, look at this video that was made or that I had made, but I'm not going to explain it. Like, I want to know, do they commission these videos? Are they hitting a cheap plug for IQ Wrestler on Twitter? Are they hitting up IQ Wrestler and saying, hey, homeboy, make me a highlight clip. I need it.
It would be one thing if they were there for a question and answer session after the video played. Like, okay, everybody, you've seen that. Now I'll take questions from the audience about what you've seen. There will be a quiz on this at the end of the semester. No, that's not there. They're just, does Charlotte slip out during the video? Does she like walk up the ramp and out while the video's playing? It's nonsensical.
So Lacey is shown in a very well lit locker room, mind you, or dressing room. Well lit. I'm impressed. Like, damn, man.
Yeah.
But she cuts a pretty generic promo as well, but it's still good. She's got great delivery, but a lot of generic promos where you said something without saying anything.
Again, it's also one of those things of like, Becky's going to have a new nickname after Sunday. Becky Black Eye. That's not going to be her nickname. That's stupid. And
she's had that nickname before.
Yeah. And I'm going to have a new nickname too. Lacey Evans, Raw Women's Champion. That's not a nickname. That's your title. That's the thing that you actually, that's not, okay, Lacey, whatever. I mean, again, I don't blame her. I just think some of the writing is just atrocious.
Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, Rowan, and Elias defeated the Super Samoan Smash Cousins. Shout out to Wild Boy 87 who pitched that name, and I said he was like, I'll probably name him that, and I was like, I wish they would. That's way better than a lot of things that they think of.
Yeah.
Usos get worked over big time. A lot of cheap heel work. Reigns gets in, goes after Bryan. Elias connects with a great knee to Reigns. I didn't think this was a great match because I asked myself, why are we supposed to care about Shane and pals? And why do they care? Maybe the Usos do because they're a tag team, but they're a tag team on Raw, so why would they care? Well, we'll find out later. But
yeah,
Bryan and Rowan had really no juice in this match. What's the point? Usos do because they're just defending their cousins. They're those type of people.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. The whole Bryan and Rowan, like I'm fine with them, like taking the preferential treatment that they're getting, but to be stooges to the McMahons just doesn't feel right. Like, obviously, I mean, McMahons are, according to Daniel Bryan, would be some of the worst people as far as like consuming the planet of anybody. Why he decided with like, yes, absolutely, I will do your bidding. That doesn't make any sense.
Jimmy Uso super kicks all around. Jay helps out as well, but Shane ends up breaking up the pin. We get drift away, a super kick, a Daniel Bryan knee, but Reigns stops that. Clotheslined outside by Rowan, but then Roman Reigns follows up with a Superman punch off the stairs, but he's taken out. Shane cannot quite get the coast to coast like he used to.
Nope, can't quite.
It is a good old, as we call it on the MMA show, it's a pant shitter kick now.
Yeah, I mean,
right to the abdominals.
He's closer to 50 than he is to 45 at this point, right? Like,
yeah, I think
like,
so.
like eventually you just stop doing that. That's not a thing you do when you're 55. Like you can stop at any point.
It would have been way funnier if he had Rowan and Elias like carry him into the drop kick, like physically just ram like the battering ram. That would have been way funnier. I don't know if funny is what they were going for there.
That's what I want. I want him. I want. This is what he needs to do. Because hey, it's Money in the Bank season. Like he measures it and says, I don't know, and he has Rowan bring in like a smaller step ladder 2/3 of the way closer to the ring, and he does a coast to coast off the top of that ladder. That'd be funny. You know, when it actually makes sense because it's Money in the Bank season. There's ladders everywhere.
Wild Boy submitted a super chat. Thank you for putting me over. Hey, good idea, my dude. Brand split means nothing. Because it was announced after this, the Usos will take on Daniel Bryan and Rowan, and I thought it was for a tag title match. So I was like, oh, the Usos lose and they get a tag title match. But then I'm told it's not a title match. And then we joked in the chat, well, not yet, not until WWE announces it later, and then probably adds the Revival, who have lost a bunch of matches in a row. This doesn't make any sense.
No, it's they need filler for the pre-show.
They don't, though. There are like 10 matches on the show already, which we got a preview. Yep. Son of a bitch. Paige introduces the Kabuki Warriors. Now, a lot of people are saying, oh, what's the big deal? Asuka and her Kabuki mask. Now, this is a hunch. But I'm going to guess that Vince named them this because that's the first thing he thought of was the Great Kabuki.
Right, sure. No, absolutely.
The name did not get over with the crowd.
No, the name was like, they were like, why? Here's the other thing, that when you name a tag team a name, like the tag team is the thing, so that you introduce them as that. To me, that removes a lot of agency from the individuals as parts of that tag team. I still think the ceiling for Asuka and Kairi Sane is much higher as future women's champions, like as singles wrestlers. I've watched them do amazing stuff as singles wrestlers. You're trying to build out this women's tag division. I understand, but these two women, this is way below their pay grade. It should be anyway. It's cool to watch them team together. They're really great professional wrestlers, but taking aside the fact that it's the most stereotypical BS, ridiculous, the Kabuki war. Kabukis aren't warriors, man. It's a style of theater. It's not like Kabuki or samurai. Like it's just beyond stupid. And the fact that it's like Japanese Kabuki, there it is. It's done. And you're going to go from Viking warriors to Kabuki warriors. Like, please, like, you're not going to team up two black guys and make them the Zulu warriors, are you? Please
they might. By definition, Kabukis are generally male these days too. Well, so at least that's true.
That is very true.
Iconics are on commentary. Fire and Desire talk some trash. I mean, this match made sense. They built it over a few weeks, so I'm glad they did it. They had some miscommunication though. Kairi gets back on the same page by slapping the shit out of Mandy. Kairi plays that face in peril until Asuka cleans house. I like Fire and Desire as a heel team, and it seems like they have that miscommunication, but they're always like, all right, that sucks. We lost. But how many times can they lose? I don't know. One good thing you can say, Sonya Deville consistently has some of the best gear in wrestling. It doesn't look tacky and like a wrestling company designed it. Looks like she told them what she wanted. Also, she has a good spine buster. Mandy demanded the tag, stepped in and got crucifixed and pinned. Okay.
All
right. The Kabuki Warriors mashup team is lazy.
It's not even a mashup. They play like several bars from one of them, and then several bars from the other one, and then that's not a mashup. It's just like you cut and paste and you edit it in some kind of. It's just bad. It's not good. It's not good.
Main event segment. Kevin Owens cuts a promo backstage, but before this, Kofi Kingston tells Woods that he wants to handle this business by himself. Kevin Owens is cutting his promo and says he's going to break Kofi's back and his shoulder and all this stuff. Kofi interrupts. Now, I don't know why Kevin's doing this promo backstage because it's time for the Kevin Owens show. But then he gets really mad that Kofi came out to kick off the Kevin Owens show himself. Little of this made sense, Alex.
None of it made sense.
Yeah. I was being generous with little, but Kofi intros Kevin, but the crowd wants the Kofi show. And they did not get a good show, and they were still hot for Kofi Kingston. That is a very big endorsement for Kofi's main event push. I got to say, this was one of the most pointless episodes of wrestling I've seen in a long time. Keep in mind, I was over the moon about last night's Raw. I thought they accomplished a whole lot. They literally accomplished more in the Nikki Cross, Alexa Bliss segment than they did in this entire show.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, it's a lot of just treading water before and I mean, again, it's a London show. It's pre-taped.
Stop rubbing your hands.
Sorry. It doesn't feel. If I had known, because I didn't at the time, several weeks ago when they were like, and these 4 people are Money in the Bank, and these 4 people are Money in the Bank, I was like, why aren't you guys having like qualifying matches right up to the go home show?
Immediate stakes.
But the problem was is that the go home show is this filler crap that you know ahead of time you're gonna do in London, and nothing's actually gonna mean anything. So we got to get all these people named the Money in the Bank match right now. Otherwise, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna actually do anything of consequence in London. Why would we do that? So I mean, at least last night they did the thing with Sami and Braun, but I got a suspicion that they're kind of forced into that. That wrap on Braun's bicep was just so noticeable. So it looks like it's kind of like, I don't know if it's going to require surgery or something, but it seems like it's like, let's get the big man out and put Sami in there. Again, though, was Sami invited as part of the wild card rule?
Well, he is a part of the wild card rule. Kofi and Owens brawl, then Sami Zayn shows up just to get beaten up, and then Xavier makes a save. Kofi hits Sami with the Trouble in Paradise. They already don't know what to do with the wild card.
No, they don't. It's because Sami is on Raw and Kevin Owens is on SmackDown. But thanks to the wild card rule, they can both be on both shows. I guess.
The wild card should be one act, one team, one wrestler. That's all you need. It's your excuse. And even then, I don't like it.
No.
And a lot of the people on the writing team don't like it. Holy crap, man. It really hurts my interest in this show, Alex.
It's a get out of jail free card.
But the thing is, it does the opposite.
Right. No, I understand. But what I'm saying is Vince thinks of it as like, just put Sami in there. And then somebody's like, oh, we can't because Sami's on Raw and Kevin's on SmackDown. And this allows Vince to say that rule does not exist. I can do whatever I want, and there's no consequences. There's no boundaries. Nothing matters because I say so. That's tough.
WWE Money in the Bank is this weekend, brought to you by FightfulSelect.com. I have the Fightful Report podcast this week. I'm giving you exclusive news, injury updates, contract updates, a lot more. We have Warren Hayes' NXT 205 Live UK review, the best online. There are no other websites that cover all the shows that we do. So check out FightfulSelect.com and support it. Leave a thumbs up. But we're going to make our predictions. 11 matches booked for Money in the Bank, Alex.
It doesn't feel like there's that many. You're gonna tell them to me, and I will not know about at least 4 of them.
Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus the Usos. I think the Usos will win this because as of now, because it's non-title. If it becomes title, Rowan and Bryan will win.
Here's the thing. Because of the wild card rule, if it is for title, they could just run the Usos back on a SmackDown because SmackDown desperately needs tag teams. And then they get, after the Usos get beat for the titles, they can wind up back on Raw because nothing matters. I agree with you in principle. If it is for the titles, then Daniel Bryan and Rowan win. If it's not, then the Usos win. But where does that leave Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan? Are they going to have more matches versus the Usos because the Usos beat them? Like, what?
Arya Davari takes on Tony Nese for the Cruiserweight title. I would not doubt that Vince McMahon is like, we're going to Saudi Arabia. Put the title on that brown guy.
Yeah, especially because, oh boy, listen, and
hey, I'll say this: not that Arya Davari doesn't deserve it,
no,
because he is awesome.
Arya Davari does deserve it. He's been putting in great work the entire time he's been on 205
Despite
Live.
the fact that he is Shane Helms' twin.
Yeah, it's true. But the idea that you would put the title on Davari, he's not just a brown guy, but he's from Iran, and we know from the first ever show in Saudi Arabia where they brought out the Davari boys and had him wave the Iran flag, and there were death threats. Like, absolutely, Vince is like, yeah, he'll get a lot of heat. It'll be great.
Yeah.
No, especially since, there's apparently plans at the White House to send 120,000 troops into Iran. This is all a great idea, Vince. Great.
Samoa Joe defends against Rey Mysterio. I think Rey is probably going to win this because he's been beaten so many times before, but I could just see Rey winning and celebrating with Dominic. I don't know. They have made me not care about either guy.
No, Samoa Joe going into Mania, coming out of Mania was this murder machine, which is what he should be. If he locks that coquille clutch on you, you're done. And he can lock it in on you when you least expect it. That's a great thing. Now he's a joke again. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him lose to Dominic at some point in the next few months. Like, actually in a wrestling match, lose to Dominic. Because they could absolutely do that to him. I think Rey winning it is a good feel-good moment because that would mean he gets the Grand Slam. That's the last title he hasn't won as part of WWE.
Steel cage match, Miz versus Shane McMahon. If they want to perpetrate, or at least portray, rather, Miz as a top-flight face, he's got to win. But they have a lot put into Shane McMahon right now. And I think that the no DQ aspect of this will lead to Shane winning.
Oh, man.
Shane should win by walking right out the door. That's what he should do.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Do the dumb, easy heel thing.
Yeah, there's so many bad things they can do with this. I don't need any. I'm done with Shane. Shane's kind of a thing. I've seen too much of him. He's just around all the time now, and it's just there's too much. But you're right. You're absolutely right. They're gonna keep this thing going all the way to SummerSlam.
Becky Lynch defends the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. She also defends the Raw Women's Championship against Lacey Evans. A lot of speculation that she'll end up losing one. Which, if she had to lose one, which do you think it is? Personally, I'm going the SmackDown Women's Championship because Raw probably needs her a little bit more. Although Raw has had some nice glimpses based on what we've seen in the ring. What do you think?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see her pull it out versus one of them, but be in such bad shape after the match that the other one really isn't much of a contest. But she is actually trying to be the big fighter about it and everything.
Do you remember the idea I pitched about how somebody cashed in and it was on a show where she couldn't get to them?
Yes.
You literally can't do that now.
No, you can't do that now. No,
they did the one thing.
Yeah,
they made a wild card to where you literally could not do that storyline anymore.
Ah, so bad. I'm gonna say she does win the Raw and then loses SmackDown. But the other thing you could easily have is you could have her beat Charlotte. But the problem is she wins the first one and loses the second one. There's no way the opposite is true.
Well, WWE, I wouldn't put it past them to do a thing where somebody cashes in between the two. And then the second cash in is what wears her down for Charlotte.
Yeah. that could do it.
Who wins Women's Money in the Bank, by the way? Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Natalya, Dana Brooke, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Ember Moon, Carmella.
The only one that actually has any forward momentum right now is Alexa Bliss, but I can't see them giving it to her two years in a row. It just isn't.
You don't know their booking of Alexa Bliss then, because she has been involved in literally nothing but championship pictures. I mean, before this singles run, her last match was a tag team tournament qualifier.
I guess
title picture, Money in the Bank. Yeah. That's all she's ever done in WWE, Alex.
I guess what I'm saying is not that I can't see them giving it to Alexa Bliss. If I could see them giving it to any woman twice in a row, it would be Alexa Bliss. But I just had a hard time in general thinking, oh, this winner will win it again. When there've only been 3 of these.
Yeah.
It just that doesn't feel right to me. But then again, I'm not Vince McMahon. So
I wouldn't mind it being somebody out of left field. I wouldn't mind it being Mandy Rose or Dana Brooke. I would really like that. I don't think Naomi needs it or should have it. I don't think Natalya works for it right now. I think that Natalya and Dana Brooke were auditioning for a tag team run on Raw. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
When they did the double team moves, it looked like they were auditioning for a tag team.
Yeah. My dark horse pick is Mandy Rose, because I think that there's something they could do with that. The one who I would love to see it, because I want to see her be a champ, is Ember Moon, but I don't think there's any chance that she wins it.
Yeah. Men's Money in the Bank: Sami Zayn, Ricochet, Baron Corbin, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Randy Orton, Andrade, Ali. I don't think it'll be Balor because he's got the Intercontinental title. Who does it for you here?
Well, not Ricochet, because he posed with the damn briefcase tonight, so that's out. My thought is it's going to be Sami.
It would make sense.
Because Sami is also out there every week speaking Vince McMahon's direct thoughts to the audience.
Also true.
So if he's out there waving around the Money in the Bank saying, I'm going to be champion and you're not, no, don't you all just hate it? Yeah, absolutely. I could see it be Sami, especially since they set up this whole thing where Baron and Drew got him into the match to begin with because they thought he wasn't a threat. If Sami sneaks in behind him and gets the briefcase, that at least completes a story arc, even though it's only a 1-week story arc.
I'm going with Sami Zayn as well. Roman Reigns versus Elias. I don't think Elias has a chance in hell.
No, why even do the match?
Kofi Kingston taking on Kevin Owens, WWE Championship. I see Kofi retaining here. I think he's going to carry that title probably into SummerSlam at the very least, unless they Money in the Bank him or they cash in on him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good momentum. He's still staying hot. That's amazing. But
the confidence of Vince McMahon too, from what I understand.
The other thing that would be really, really great is if you somehow wound up with Kevin Owens having the WWE Championship on SmackDown and Sami Zayn holding the Money in the Bank contract on Raw and just waiting for his time to get the Universal Championship away from Seth Rollins, and so that you could have those two guys being just complete and utter bastards, being able to be gleeful with each other about them being champions. But yeah, I agree with you. Kofi's gonna keep it.
Main event: Seth Rollins taking on AJ Styles, WWE Universal Championship. Another one of those where I think that Rollins is probably going to retain it. Although, you know what would be a nice refresher? A little bit. I would be refreshed to see a little bit of hot potatoing with Raw's top prize, because it's not something we've really ever got to see. We got to see it a little bit when Balor got hurt, and then it went from Owens to Goldberg to Lesnar. But really, since then, it's been hot potatoing under really crappy pretenses. And if AJ Styles went heel and had the club help him, you know what? I wouldn't hate that finish. But I'm not convinced that WWE would do that. I don't even know. I don't know what the club are doing. I don't know if there are any plans for them. I don't even know if they're on the European tour right now.
Right. I have a question. Is Brock confirmed for the Saudi Arabia thing?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, the club has not wrestled since their Raw debut.
There you go. So Brock's confirmed for the Saudi thing. Seth also. but neither of them have a match yet.
Oh, god damn it.
Brock showing up at the end of this thing and attacking Seth, and that's how they're setting up that match. You know it's happening. Brock versus Seth in the desert. And the sands of time. Gonna roll everything back to the future, baby.
Those are our predictions. Watch the post show. It's live this Sunday. Feels a little different not having an NXT before this, but hey, that's.
But I'm looking forward to that June 1st show. That's going to be some good stuff on there.
Another show I'm looking forward to in June. It is titled the Fightful's Post NBA Draft Show Spectacular for some reason, and it might not even be a post show. We might just go live after the number 3 pick, and then just shit.
Because what else matters?
Do the audio equivalent of shit posting throughout that entire thing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, one of my favorite things, like, it's so funny. I'll find people that quote tweet me from stuff I did like 3 or 4 years ago on NBA posts. And I'm like, no, you don't realize I don't cover the NBA. My favorite thing, even more than wrestling, is overreacting to NBA draft night trades.
I'm overreacting to the draft lottery. Apparently, they whisked old Zion Williamson out of that room because he was so pissed that the Knicks didn't get the number 1 pick. Like there's speculation he may pull an Eli Manning and refuse to play anywhere but New York.
Whew. What kind of deal do you think the Knicks could swing to get the number 1 pick out of New Orleans?
Nothing. What do they have? They have nothing unless they're going to trade Kyrie that they just signed, which is impossible. Like it's not.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, you can't do that. So it's like there's a reason the Knicks were so bad.
Oh my God,
they did it.
I'm looking at what they have. They've got Kevin Knox. That's a good piece. And this is on the books for next year because they only have $36 million committed.
Right.
They don't have shit.
No.
They don't have nothing. Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson's all right. I like Mitchell Robinson. Anybody who shoots 69, nice from the field. Granted, he's not shooting any threes.
No.
But that's an okay piece. I like that. Kevin Knox is pretty good. That number 3, if you trade number 3, you're getting RJ Barrett, probably. Right. That's pretty good.
It's okay.
You're going to have to trade another draft pick, at least.
Yeah, this is the thing, is what you would have to do is say, you can have this year's number 3 pick. You will also get our first round draft pick in the next 5 years. If we can please have Zion Williamson, thank you. Like, it doesn't make any sense. New Orleans is saying, oh, we're going to draft Zion and he'll team with Anthony Davis, who still wants to be here, right, Anthony? I don't know. Man. This is what's so great about tonight's draft lottery. Utter chaos. Nobody knows what happens now that New Orleans has this pick. It's craziness.
It is. It is craziness. And like I'm just looking and I'm trying to be like, what the hell could New York put together to get that number 3 pick? Even if Zion demanded. And I'm looking and all right, Dennis Smith Jr. is under contract for 2 more seasons, 4.4 next year, 5.6 the next year. That's pretty good.
Decent for who he is. That's a good contract.
And especially if his 3-point shot comes along and he gets more accurate, that's good. You do Robinson, Smith, and Knox and a pick and probably another future pick. That's all just to move up 2 spots, though. But you got to load it. You can't do anything else.
There's nothing else you can do. And like this is the other thing is that I love that the idea of Durant and Kyrie both signing there was predicated on the fact that New York was going to get the number 1 pick, even though they had equal chance at it as 2 other teams.
That's the thing. I didn't get that. I'm like, guys, there really is. There's less incentive to tank than ever, and that's why.
100%. This is the thing: is that this is the first year, and so many Knicks fans were thinking, "We got the worst record, which means we're guaranteed the pick." Like this isn't the NFL, man.
Yeah,
it's not the NFL. That's not how that works. You can tank all you want, and it doesn't mean anything.
I love it, and it's something we were talking about off the air. I respect the Bucks for not tanking.
The Bucks are where they are, number one team, at least in the regular season, number one record in the regular season, and they're doing a little well in the playoffs. The highest pick, meaning close to number one that they have on the team right now, is number 10. 10th pick. That's it. Like Giannis was a crazy luck thing. Like, there's this really tall kid in Greece who might be good. Yeah, go ahead, pick him.
Yeah.
So many teams passed on him because they just didn't know what he was possible. And to be honest, it's a crazy 100 million to one shot that he became this good. So yeah.
So the Bulls, which I technically like, I'll give you all the background of my fandom. I am from Kentucky, huge basketball state, no basketball team.
Nope.
We tried to get the Louisville Colonels like whenever the Bobcats came in.
Right.
There was a big push for that. I still want an NBA team here. I grew up in the 90s, Bulls fan. That's just how it ended up. I've tried to jump on that Toronto Raptors bandwagon over the last 3 years because it's no secret Toronto is good to me. With the Bulls, boy, now, Hey, you know what? Zach LaVine, Otto Porter, Lauri Markkanen, and Wendell Carter, you can do a lot worse than that, especially the way that Otto Porter played after he was traded for.
The problem is that they re-signed that coach, and he's not going to develop anybody.
Yeah,
so there's going to be a lot of kids out there just trying to get theirs, and it's not going to be.
So another moving piece here. Ja Morant is going to get picked number 2, and Mike Conley is Mike Conley's got to get traded.
Oh yeah, he should have been traded during the regular season too. That would have been a really big thing for other teams.
Yeah. So now all these teams that are probably going to try to get Kemba Walker or Kyrie Irving.
Yep.
Mike Conley's in the mix too, and that ain't a bad consolation prize, even at 30-something years old.
No, it's good, and for the right team, he becomes like that fourth or fifth best player that could push them towards something. And depending on who your point guard is, he could anchor that second unit, and you would have zero drop off because he's not going to commit turnovers. He's gonna keep everything good, and that's the problem. The reason the Bucks are the favorites to come out of the East is because their bench unit, there's zero drop off. When you take out the starters, all of a sudden the bench unit, it plays even better than the starters because the bench unit for other teams is just abysmal. So if you can get a guy like that who can come and anchor your bench, that's a major deal in the playoffs.
There's so many teams that have just fascinating off seasons because Warriors are losing Cousins. They're not getting him back.
No.
Klay Thompson, he's up for the Warriors want to keep him. Kevin Durant's player option is up, but they're paying Andre Iguodala $17 million. That's killing them right now.
It really is. I think Durant's gone, and because Durant is gone, Klay's staying. Because Klay and Steph, they want to be the Splash Brothers forever. Like, you can tell they're having so much fun being the guys again now that Durant is hurt, that I think they want to run that back and see if they could prove everybody wrong, that they don't need Kevin.
Somebody says the Lakers have a better package to offer for Zion. Maybe. The gap between number 3 and number 4 in this draft is huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. And the Lakers they got Hart, Ingram, Ball, all that stuff. But
they've got way more than the Knicks have.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's for sure.
But here's the thing. When I look at Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith, Mitchell Robinson, I'm like, those are 3 good pieces. But the difference between that number 3 and the number 4 pick is monumental.
Yeah.
That's the key part of this. The key isn't Brandon Ingram or Lonzo Ball.
Right.
In fact, I've gone as far as to say if the Bulls pick up Lonzo Ball, we're done.
The rumor was going around that they were going to have a LeBron for Ben Simmons trade, which would have put Ben Simmons and Lonzo Ball on the same team. And I just don't think they should put a lid on the rim and just save everybody time.
I don't get why all these people are like, oh, Sixers should trade Ben Simmons. I'm like, what? It's his second year.
Right, but he hasn't attempted to get any better from further out than 4 feet. Like, he hasn't even tried. Like, at least Giannis is in the gym for hours at a time. He's shooting 40% on 4 threes a game in the playoffs. That's a lot better than it was before. But like, Ben he hasn't attempted a 3-pointer. Like, he's not trying to get better.
When I look at that, though, I mean, he's 19. Or no, he's 22. Steph Curry didn't become an all-star till he's like 25.
Right, but Steph made more three-pointers in his sleep his freshman year at Davidson than Ben Simmons has in his NBA career. So
True,
yeah.
but I mean, that's not all Ben Simmons does. He is
that's true.
6'10" point guard that rebounds 9 times a game.
Right, he is that, but if he's anything further out than 4 feet, he can't hit a shot. He gets to the rim. He gets to the rim a lot, but it would be nice if he had a pull up. That'd be fair.
But I mean, DeMarcus Cousins was like that. DeMarcus Cousins is a center, 1 inch taller than Ben Simmons, and you know what? I can't remember how many 3-pointers I ever saw him shoot at Kentucky. 6 maybe ever, and now he's making, like, when he's healthy. DeMarcus Cousins makes like 120, 130 threes a year. You can develop that.
Yeah, you certainly can. I think the problem is that DeMarcus Cousins appeared willing to develop that, and Ben Simmons does not appear willing to try and develop that.
Lakers landed the number 4 pick. That's very interesting as well. But we'll see how all this ends up. We're going to do some more NBA content leading up to the draft and the draft night. Alex, what do you got going on this week?
Man, it's NBA playoffs starting tonight, and the Bucks play the Raptors tomorrow night. Looking forward. Like, by the time we get to next week's podcast, somebody's going to be up 2-0, or I guess 1-1. But I mean, like, we're going to be 2 games deep into the conference finals, and that's going to be it's going to be a lot of fun.
Guys, follow me at Sean Ross Sapp. Follow Alex at Pawlowski the 4th. Follow us at Fightful. Until next time, guys, leave a thumbs up on this video. Join us this Sunday. We're out.